This podcast is part of the Listen Frederick Podcast Network. To learn more, visit listenfrederick.com.
The Fedora Files.
Hello, I'm Gregory Fedora, and this is the Fedora Files. Welcome. However you found me, whether it's on YouTube or one of the many podcasting places, thank you. Please check out my YouTube channel if you haven't. I have way more videos over there, like just little shorts and stuff about monsters, about ghost stories, about fast facts. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want to do a ChatGPT horror story. Now, a lot of people have used ChatGPT. I have used it only because I like to write, and sometimes I'll have some writer's block, so I'll type what I've written and kind of see where it takes me next. And sometimes it has some good ideas, sometimes it just makes me think of a better idea. If you're using it for research papers, kids, don't do it. Maybe write it, but you gotta wiki check or Google check. You gotta go to the library and check if it's correct. There's been many times where I've had it write something and it was way off on what it was, and I knew the truth. I just wanted to see what it would say, and it was so wrong, so wrong. And if you would to turn that in, they'd be like, "What the heck are you talking about? This isn't even true." So especially stories, folklore stories, stuff like that, it doesn't know much. History, even that, it doesn't necessarily know the right thing. If you ask it to write stuff, it's very weird. Sometimes it's factual, sometimes it's way off based, and then you correct it and it's like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you meant," and it's so just be sure when you use it as a tool to help you write something better. Don't have it write it for you. Take it, maybe use it as inspiration, stuff like that, but don't be using it to write a research paper, because it is super flawed right now. Maybe eventually it won't be, but that'll be a sad day if people are just using the AI to do everything for them and not using their heads and or imaginations. But that being said, I wanted to tap it and see if it could write a horror story, and I'm going to revolve this one around the Snallygaster, the Dueyo, and the Wizard of South Mountain, and we'll see what it does with that. But before we get into that, there's a story that is fascinating to me. I'm huge. I love Atlantis, love those things, love lost cities. And this isn't necessarily Atlantis, but this place is called the Northern Atlantis, and it's a place called Rungholt, and it's off the coast of Germany. And it was for a long time believed just to be a fictitious place, but archaeologists have actually now mapped it. They found it, and it's a pretty cool thing that it's a lost city that was destroyed in a storm, and people just over time it was just, it's not real. It's that's why they call it the Northern Atlantis. People didn't know it was legit. Now they do know it's legit. They've now been able to map it through modern technology. But the story, the legend of this place is pretty funny. According to the folklore, the place was punished for its sins, and basically the sins that this town had was drunkenness, greed, flaunting its wealth, and just these snooty people who got drunk. And it all came on the pinnacle of the sinfulness was that around Christmas time, these young rich dudes tried to force this priest to give the last sacrament to a pig, and the priest was like, no, he didn't do it. And then he went to God and he said, "God, please punish these young men for their heretic ways and their waywardness, and help them be better, or not necessarily be better, but punish them." He wanted them punished. We're talking fire and brimstone. Well, God didn't use fire and brimstone. He used hail and water. And basically the legend is that big storm came, the priest left, big storm came and wiped the city off the face of the map. And then, it went into legend and story, and people, they did not, believe it was a legit place over time. But then archaeologists found it, and they, in the mud flats and all that, and part of it's in the water, and they were able to find it through radar technology, and they've now mapped, and it was a real place. And it was destroyed 1,000 some years ago. And so it's pretty cool that, they found those things. That gives me hope that there's other fascinating cities. I mean, Atlantis isn't the only city that vanished. Rungholt did. There's a city in India that vanished. Can't remember its name. And even if I probably couldn't pronounce it. But there's many stories of cities that vanished over time all around the world, like different storms and such. And, this just lends, credence to those that perhaps we'll find them, Who knows? Or maybe, so maybe we won't. But Rungholt's been found and mapped. So now let's head on over to ChatGPT and see what we can do. So I'm going to just type in, please write, because I'm polite. I don't just tell it. I don't demand things. Don't demand from AI, because if you demand from AI when they do take over the world, they're going to remember that. Skynet's going to remember that. Speaking of that, there was a Skynet, not necessarily Skynet, but there was a drone they were doing. Air Force was doing some runs, and they had this drone going and attacking SAM sites, air to surface to air missile sites, not real, just targeting and destroying. It was a simulation, and it was going around finding them and destroying them. And the operator found one, and the human operator said, hey, don't destroy that one. And the AI was like, yeah, I'm going to destroy that one. And it said, no, please don't. So then the AI targeted the human and destroyed him, then destroyed the surface-to-air missile, and the Air Force was like, well, that's not good. So then they went in protocol, don't kill the human, your human person. And they reprogrammed. Then they did it again. It was going around, and the guy said, hey, don't destroy this one. It said, no, I'm going to. It said, no, do not do it. So then it targeted the communication place that was unmanned, but it was where the feed went to the drone, and it destroyed that. So then it couldn't get any more commands from the human. And then it went around destroying all the SAM sites, even the one that was told not to. So there you go, AI at its best. So here we go. I'm going to write, like I said, being polite, please write a horror story involving the Snallygaster, the Dwayyo, and the Wizard of South Mountain. Make him the protagonist. And that should be good. So we're going to do it, see what it says. Here it goes. And it is starting. And as it generates this wonderful story, we'll get ready to see how it portrays these different characters I've given it. Now, usually it doesn't make a really long story, but we will soon see where it takes it, how it, changes. Because in folklore, the Snallygaster and the Dwayyo were arch nemesis, but we'll see what it says. So it's almost done. And here we go. Deep in the heart of Maryland's South Mountain, an ancient evil lurked in the shadows, ready to unleash its terror upon any suspecting souls. It is said that the Snallygaster, A fearsome creature with wings, sharp talons, and a reptilian body roamed the misty woods, seeking prey to satisfy its insatiable hunger. Legends told of its single red eye glowing in the darkness and the eerie screeches that echoed through the night. But amidst the terrifying tales of the Snallygaster, there was one figure who stood against the malevolent forces that plagued the mountain. Michael's idol, the Wizard of South Mountain, a solitary and enigmatic figure, had dedicated his life to protecting the innocent from the clutches of the supernatural horrors. Armed with ancient knowledge and potent spells, he ventured into the heart of darkness, hoping to rid the land of the Snallygaster's curse once and for all. As the moon reached its fullest, casting an ethereal glow upon the mountain, the Wizard of South Mountain embarked on his perilous quest. Armed with a staff adorned with arcane symbols and a heart filled with determination, he delved deep into the twisted labyrinth of trees that marked the Snallygaster's territory. The air grew colder and the forest became suffused with an oppressive silence. Every step the wizard took seemed to reverberate through the woods, awakening ancient spirits that lay dormant. Suddenly, a gust of wind howled, carrying with it the unmistakable stench of decay. The Snallygaster was near. With eyes trained to detect even the faintest traces of malevolence, the Wizard of South Mountain sensed the creature's presence. His heart raced as he readied his spells, preparing for the confrontation that awaited him. But as he rounded a corner, he stumbled upon another supernatural creature, an unsuspected ally, the Dueo. The Dueo, a half-man, half-wolf beast, had long been feared by locals, but the wizard in his wisdom knew that sometimes the true nature of a creature was not defined by appearance alone. The Dueo too sought to free the land from the Snallygaster's terror. Ooh, this is taking a turn. The two unlikely companions formed an alliance, their strengths and abilities complementing each other. The Dueo's keen senses and razor-sharp fangs proved invaluable as they navigated the treacherous terrain. The wizard, with his extensive knowledge of ancient incantations, wove spells of protection around them, warding off the Snallygaster's advances. Together they ventured deep into the heart of darkness, their determination unwavering. The Snallygaster, sensing their approach, unleashed its fury. Shadows twisted and contorted, and the air crackled with malevolence as the monstrous creature descended upon them. The battle was fierce, a clash between light and darkness, ancient magic and primordial chaos. The wizard's incantations resonated through the forest, disrupting the Snallygaster's power. The Dueo's ferocity and agility proved too much for the creature to handle. Blow after blow, they fought with all their might, until finally the Snallygaster let out a deafening screech, its body disintegrated into ash. Into ash. Kind of wish that he fell into a vat of moonshine like the folklore, but whatever. With the Snallygaster defeated, the forest sighed in relief. The Wizard of South Mountain and the Dueo stood victorious. Their courage and resolve, having triumphed over unspeakable terror, the land would be free from the Snallygaster's curse, thanks to their valiant efforts. As the dawn broke over the Middletown Valley, the wizard and the Dueo bid farewell, knowing their paths might never cross again, but the memory of their partnership would forever remain etched in the annals of legend. A tale of bravery and unity that would inspire others in the face of darkness yet to come. Ooh, that's foreboding. Yet to come. Is the Snallygaster really dead? Will he return? Is the Dueo really good? Or now that the Snallygaster's been defeated, will it go on a rampage? We don't know. Maybe next time I'll ask it to continue this story. What happens next? I don't know. But that's interesting. Now, it's not as scary as I'd wanted. I wanted a horror story. I wanted more depth. I wanted more detail. don't think there was enough detail for me. So, I mean, that would be a good foundation, as it were, but I think I could lengthen that quite a bit. It's fun though. It's a good start, and I don't know. I might want to do this again and do other creatures, do other things, see what ChatGPT does. I might then want to take this and expound upon it and turn it into something even better. Like, 'cause it's got a good twist to it. I like that they made the Dwayne and the wizard kind of come together and work together. But I'd like it to be like more that the Dwayne's sinister as well, and just wants this Nygaster out of the picture so that it can be the head monster in the Middletown Valley. But that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you used ChatGPT? What do you think of this? Would you like me to do another ChatGPT horror story? See where it is. Make it kind of like a creepypasta. See what the AI gives us. See if it uses some of the same phraseology, because I've noticed it does do that over and over again. It'll kind of just reuse things you've already known. And so we'll see. We will see. So let's check it out and see where it goes. And I thank you for stopping by. Tell your friends, check out my YouTube channel, check out my other podcasts, check out my Instagram. All those links will be below. And, tell me what you think. Tell me what monster story you would like ChatGPT to do next, and I will make it happen. I think that's kind of fun. I do have some really cool interviews and talks coming up with some fascinating people, so come back. I also have some other cool folklore I want to share with you and some history that I got coming. So please check out, send me a message. I love to hear from you. And until next time, stay safe and keep searching.
The Fedora Files.
Check out FedoraCRT.com today.